Welcome back, guys, to another review video. In this video, I'll talk about two things I've been using for the past 2 months, and I purposely delayed talking about them or reviewing them on the channel because I wanted to test and see if they were actually worth it and then recommend them if they were. Number one is the iFootage RB A400 Light stand. That's it, more like a monopod light stand, I'll call it. And the iFootage Cobra Strike monopod. Amazing monopod. I've been wanting a monopod. I have a monopod, but they're not as good as this one. We'll talk about this and how it's improved my workflow in the past 2 months. So with that being said, let's roll intro. As a solo creator or a solo filmmaker or a filmmaker who shoots in a small space like the studio here, you know that having light stands around and tripod can be risky. It can be risky business. For me here in this studio here, my setup has the aero. Sometimes I'll have a second camera to like kind of get a close-up shot of the product I'm talking about. Previously, if I'm doing a video like this, I'll have my camera on a tripod. I also have a light stand holding my 10-inch monitor I use to frame myself. Sometimes I'll have it on the camera because I don't have enough light stands or I don't trust the light stand. Then the other light stand, the bigger light stands, I'll have my light or my key light on that light stand. And then for my top-down shot, I'll have another C stand and I'll have to rig it and I'll need to use sandbags to keep them stable. And I have a light stand holding a backlight. So this has kind of improved my setup in the sense I have a camera on an A400, I have the 10-inch monitor on another A400, and I have my light with a softbox on another A400, and it makes my setup neat and tidy. And because I was moving, I like changing my setup once in a while, moving the C stands, moving the light stands, moving the tripod. It used to be slow and painful because you have to unscrew, lock at. It used to take time. So having this A400 or the round base A400 has been, I don't usually use the word game changer so often, and I think a lot of people abuse the word game changer. It has been a game changer. Now, the second thing I do here in the studio is with my wife, and we host a podcast where she's the host and she has a guest, and that requires a 3-camera setup. And with the 3-camera setup, the camera on the host will be on the tripod, the camera on the guest will be on the tripod, and then the wide camera will be on a bigger tripod because we have here this automatic slider with batteries. This thing already is heavy. I have a camera here and I have it on a tripod. And the tripod I usually use for the automatic slider with the camera on it would be a Lightbeck, a heavy duty tripod. So you can imagine how much space I've taken up already using tripods and light stands in the studio. So this has solved that problem whereby I have one of the cameras on the host on the A400, another A400, and I'm telling you, I have a third one on the slider and a camera on it. So I just screw on my slider and that's it. Sometimes I don't even need a sandbag on this, but because it's an automatic slider and if it falls, there can be problems. I'll just have a sandbag at the bottom of the base, but it holds it already with no issues. All right, so I have the RB A400 on my decks here. You can see the base has taken a beating. There's scratches just to show you that I've really used this round base. And there's supposed to be like a rubber protection around here. I've taken out that. I don't like that at all. At the back of it is a very soft velvet looking or feeling thing that keeps it from moving around. My studio is carpeted, so it helps with friction and keeping it in place when I put it down. It's also nice on the table, it doesn't scratch. And to just install, you have like a 3/8 screw points there, and you have a 3/8 female hole there, thread hole, and you just screw it in clockwise and it stays in very, very solid. So that's it, all screwed down. The base here is 40 centimeters in diameter and it takes a payload of 10 kilograms, but with the extension arm and the base, you're looking at a weight of 5.4. So 5.4 base and pole, 10 kilograms payload. I've just put it down. When it's not extended as it is now, I don't think you can see, that's 76.9 centimeters. And then when you extend, you have over 201 centimeters. So that's more than double the length when it's not extended. And it goes very, very high. It's like 2 times my height almost. So that's how high it goes. I'm sorry you can't see the whole thing, but it goes very, very high. Now to the features of the Cobra Strike 3. You can see I have the Komodo 5 head on it. I like this head because it feels like I'm using my Liebeck tripod head on my Manfrotto and tripod head. It has that fluid drag system. It's small compared to the other heads I've been using, but it functions the same and takes the camera weight I put on it, the Pixel 6K fully rigged, and even my Lumix S12 and S1R2, when I rig them up, it still takes it. And the friction, the resistance, it works perfectly. I usually would take off the tripod handles. Like you notice, there's no tripod handle there, and that's because I like to, if I extend it up, I like to hold tripod heads this way. I like to operate my camera this way. In some cases, I'll put the handle, but that's because I've taken up the handle. There's no handle there, but in the box, it comes with a handle. Now to a quick overview of the Cobra Strike 3, I've taken up the K5 head. It uses a one-touch system where you just press and extend, and you press and put it down. I didn't have to put pressure here. I'll show you. There's nothing. I'll just drop the tripod down, or the monopod down, sorry. I'm used to calling tripods. And I just press extend it. My legs are not on the tripod or the monopod. Once again, tripod. And I just press to bring it down. It's even better when there's a load at the top. It's easy. Press and hold to pull up. Press and hold to bring it down. And they're not as tall in terms of the height compared to the A400. Another thing to mention is that it has a quick release system where if I push down here, I can just take off this side and it still works. Extend, retract. So this is made of aluminum alloy, which makes it very, very light. And just to show you guys something else, the Komodo K5 head can be put here on this 3-legged system, where if you push down, I can put it in there and it holds. It's locked. Very, very easy. Let me put this away. And I'll bring up my S1R2. And the S1R2 has the base plate of the K5. And so I can just slide it in, lock that in, and you see it's very, very sturdy. I can unlock, tilt down, lock stays in place, tilt it up, stays in place, or bring it back, stays in place. And I can easily rotate. It's very, very smooth. It is very, very smooth. And if I want, I can adjust the legs by clicking in, adjusting, clicking in, adjusting, clicking in and adjusting, and it stays that way. And if I wanted to adjust, you're probably doing a low angle shoot, I could like push down here and rotate. See, I can rotate it. And if I want to put it back, I'll put it, try to centralize it, and it pushes back up. Same thing if I had it on, if I had the monopod on, I'll detach this. I'll put this here for now. And this is the same thing you do if you had this on the floor with your legs. So I would push this down, attach the monopod, make sure it's in there, yes, tight. And then if I press down on the pedal, I can easily tilt the monopod forward or bring it back up, and it locks in place and it doesn't tilt. So that's how sturdy it is. And also, you can mount your camera with the K5 head. I'll bring it higher up a bit. I'll push down, mount the tripod head, make sure it's in, that's in, and I can leave it by itself. I'm not touching it. Maybe I can push some weight, but I wouldn't advise that, except if you're using a heavy setup like the S1R2 with a 2470. And usually what I'll do is have it close to like a pillar. I'll talk more about that, but you can see how stable it is. Usually you want it very close to your body when you're filming, and it's light. You can easily just take it up. One other thing I'd advise is be careful, because this system, this thing you have to press here to bring it down or take it up, is very sensitive. And once you release it, it stays there. Now the next thing I want to do is take this off. Take off the camera, push it out, and put it right here. The next thing I'll do is bring up my Pixel 6K. So I have my Pixel 6K with a heavy lens. That's the PL mount lens. I'll lock the tilt, not advisable. I'll lock the base plate holder part, and I'm not touching the. This is risky. That's the pick where I don't have a V-mount battery attached, but anyway, it still work with the V-mount. But you can see how it holds it in play. What I'll do is take it off. I'll quickly take off the camera. I'll take off the tripod head or the K5, and I'll take off the legs. What I can do is attach the K5. Make sure it's nice and sturdy, and then slide in my Pixel 6K. Make sure that it's locked, and I can easily stays in place. Let me get my V-mount battery or one of my V-mount batteries. All right, so I have the SMORI X99 V-mount battery. I'll tilt this forward, and that's how it holds it up very, very nicely without any issues. I can tilt, it stays in place. I can tilt forward or tilt down, and it's there, it doesn't move. And I can rotate left or pan left. I can also pan right. And that's just amazing what this monopod broken down can do. And I also want to show you something. I've unlocked the holder, the thing that holds the base plate secure. And if I lift the camera, it doesn't fall because it has a system that prevents it from falling. If I want to unlock or unhook the camera, I'll press on this red knob and pull it out. So that's a very, very good and intuitive system from iFootage. So I have some things written down. That the monopod itself, when not extended, it comes down to 21.5 centimeters, and then when you extend it, that's 83.7 centimeters. I couldn't cram that. And now with the tripod legs, when you have this installed on top, you have it extended to 150.3 centimeters. And then with the tripod leg and the monopod, without it extended, you get 138 centimeters. Not as long as the A400. Now, the weight of this, just by itself, you're looking at a weight of 1 kilograms, and when you attach the legs, you're looking at a weight of 1.6 kilograms, which goes up if you attach the Komodo K5 fluid drag system head. Now, one thing I like about the A400 is the versatility, or how versatile it is. I've used it to mount my cameras. I'm usually using one to mount my S12, which I'm recording this video with. There's no sandbag on it. I can hook up like a V-mount thing to hook my batteries and connect it to my camera to have all or extended run time or extended power. It's easy because it can go round the arm, which is what I've been doing. I've also used it to hold up a PTZ camera. So I have a PTZ camera because it's usually unmanned. I have it rigged all the way high up so that if people are standing up from their benches, it goes over their head and it stays unmanned, neat and tidy. I usually place it in front of pillars where people would usually not go, and it just keeps the setup very, very neat and nice. For pricing, the round base A400 will cost you $119. And you can see it's carrying the tripod there, and it comes with the base itself, the extension pole, and a spigot. And this spigot has a 3/8 female to 1/4 female thread holes, so you can attach a camera or any other thing. Another thing you can do if you don't need the spigot, if you have the K5, is you can unhook this part. And trust me, I needed to use a plier to unhook it. It's very, very sturdy. So that's how the top end of the RB would look like. And you attach the spigot 3/8 part. You can attach a light. I've used to attach lights, other things. Then you can attach maybe a small LED light. I use a 1/4 up there. So I'll unhook that or I can just attach the K5 directly by taking off this part, which helps you quickly attach it to the monopod on this. I can rig up anyhow you'd want. So that's nice. I like the ecosystem of the iFootage support systems. And then if you wanted to price this is going for $149 at the time of making this video. For the monopod, the Cobra Strike 3, this is costing $299, and you get the tripod legs or the 3-legged foot base and the extension, the monopod itself. If you want, you can buy the K5, which would be advisable to do, the K5, so you can attach it easily and have a working system for your camera setup. Now, transporting these systems are easy and kind of not easy. I'll tell you the not easy part later. But the easy part is when you buy the monopod, it comes without the head. So you have this part here and this part. And it comes in a bag, a nice bag, which you can easily carry. Sometimes I'll squeeze in the K5 into the bag, but it's not advisable, but it squeezes in nicely. So I can carry the K5 and the monopod system. But this guy here, which is the RB A400, it's light. The extension pole can be carried in the same bag. So sometimes I'll carry the extension pole in the same bag I have the monopod, but I can't put that in there. I'll put this in my camera bag. But when I need to carry the round base, because of how wide or how large the base is, I'll have to hold it in my hand. I do that sometimes, but when I carry more kits, because I have 4 of these, if I'm carrying a large kit, I'll carry it in my Pelican case where I have 2 round bases overlapping themselves on the lower part of the case, and then I'll put the top part of my case on, and I can easily just roll with. That's how I'll run. I'll take off this part here, I'll put this in my case and just have the extension poles, one monopod and 2 RB A400 extension poles in the same bag, and easy to carry. So that could classify it as a not easy part to carry, because that base is a massive 5.4 kilograms. It's weighty. When you're traveling for a long period of time, that base could be very, very heavy, which is also a plus, because you want something that is heavy and steady and your lights don't move. I've used several lights in here. I'm using the iFootage 200 watt light, the iFootage 60 watt, the iFootage 130, which I've reviewed in this channel. I'll leave a link so you can check them out. And I've even used some bigger lights, and I've had no issues at all in terms of the weight. Even attaching my largest softbox to the light, I've had no issues. But if you want to be safe or feel safer, you can attach or put a sandbag on the base. So that's it for my review of the RB A400 light stand and the monopod, the Cobra Strike 3 and the Komodo K5, which wasn't the focus, but this is very handy because of how it, you can switch between the monopod and the RB A400. This is an amazing ecosystem from iFootage. I have replaced my light stands. I don't lug around with those traditional light stands that have 3 legs. Even the C stands, I've not used my C stand in almost 2 months since I got these systems. In fact, I had one RB A400 before I received 3 other RB A400s, and it's about, if not 5 to 6 months now, I have not used a C stand or a traditional light stand. My monitor is being mounted on an RB A400. My key light is on an RB A400. My camera is on an RB A400. It's only my top-down light that's on an extension boom pole, which I've had for, I think, about 2 years now. So this has made my setup here, the podcast I do with my wife, a cleaner. In fact, when people come into the studio, say, this is a nice studio and it's a nice setup. Thanks, because there's nothing logging around and people can easily move around. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my future uploads. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. And also, would you be adding these to your system? The Cobra Strike 3, the RB A400, or the Komodo K5. It's a Filmmaker. I'll see you in the next one. God bless and peace.